Good day all. I am K. Anita Daumani, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, working in Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. In today's session, we are going to see about the topic MapReduce that comes under Big Data Analytics. This is the agenda for today's session. First, we are going to see about what is MapReduce. Then we have to know about big data. Then why we need MapReduce, how MapReduce works, example for MapReduce and MapReduce algorithm. Now, what is MapReduce? MapReduce means that is a programming model, and this programming model is used for writing applications in big data analytics. MapReduce can process the big data in parallel on multiple nodes. At a time, we can work for multiple nodes, work with the multiple nodes. MapReduce means it produces analytical capabilities for analyzing huge volume of complex data. So here, by using this MapReduce, we can work with the huge amount of data, and we can run these huge amount of data on multiple nodes. What is big data? We know by the name itself, big data means that is large amount of data, a tremendous amount of data. It cannot be processed using traditional computing techniques because we cannot accommodate our large amount of data into a traditional database system. It's very difficult to accommodate that huge amount into a traditional database, and it's very difficult to process it and analyze it. For example, the volume of data Facebook or YouTube need to collect and manage on a daily basis. We know that how much data are uploaded in Facebook or YouTube. Whatever we are generating, we are also generating a lot of data in social medias. Big data is not only about scale and volume. It is also involves one or more of the following aspects, that is velocity, variety, volume, complexity, etc. So many characteristics are there for big data. Why we need MapReduce? MapReduce is a traditional enterprise system. So here we are going to use centralized server to store and process the data. In MapReduce, we are using centralized server to store and process the data. For a traditional model, we cannot accommodate huge volume of data because the scalable data, we are having large scalable data, and we cannot accommodate it by standard database server. Moreover, the centralized system creates too much of a bottleneck while processing multiple files simultaneously. But this MapReduce allow parallel processing. Okay, so because of that, we need MapReduce for big data analytics. So in this image, we are able to see the centralized system, user, and relational database. So what the user will do, the user will give requests for the centralized system. What the centralized system will do, it will collect the data from the relational database. Okay, so here we are having too much of bottleneck. So Google only solved this bottleneck issue using an algorithm called MapReduce. So MapReduce means this will divide a task into small parts. What this MapReduce will do? It will split or it will divide the task into small parts, and it will assign these parts to many computers. Okay. So at a time, multiple nodes will execute the same task. So it's very easy to get the output as soon as possible. Okay. So this will assign the work to many computers. Later, the results are collected at one place and integrated to form the result data set. This is the work of MapReduce. See here, we are having a centralized system. By using a commodity hardware, the user can execute the complex task by using a MapReduce function. How MapReduce work? Here, the MapReduce algorithm contains two important tasks. The first task is map task and the second task is reduce task. Here we are having two tasks. One is map task and the another one is reduce task. The map task takes the set of data and it will convert it into another set of data where individual elements are broken down into tuples. Because what this map task will do, it will take the set of data and it will convert these data into key value pairs. Then this key value pairs given as input to the reduce task. So the reduce task will take the output from the map task as an input, and what it will do, it will combine those data tuples and it will generate another set of key value pairs into a smaller set of tuples. So this what we are going to do by using MapReduce. Okay. The reduce task is always performed after the map job because the output from map task will be the input to the reduce task. Now what we are going to do, let us now take a close look at each of the phases and we are going to understand the significance of map and reduce. So here how many phases we are having? 7 phases. First one is input phase. Second one is map phase. Third one is intermediate keys. Next, combiner. This combiner is optional. Then we are having shuffle and sort, reducer phase, and the final one is the output phase. So here the input will be given to the map phase. What the map phase will do? It will divide the task into number of subtasks and it will generate a key value pairs. That is, it will generate a intermediate keys for the given small task or subtask. Then what the combiner will do? The combiner will group these intermediate keys based on the key values. Then the shuffle and sort will shuffle the values based on the key. Then what the reducer phase will do? The reducer phase will reduce the values that is having for each key value. It will give the final output. This is the work of MapReduce. So what the input phase will do? Here we have a record reader. Input phase contains a record reader. That record reader translates each record in an input file and sends the parsed data to the mapper in the form of key value pairs. Okay. So what is the work of map phase? Map is a user-defined function. It is a user-defined function. It takes the series of key value pairs from the input phase and each one of them, it will process each one of them to generate 0 or more key value pairs. Then we are having a intermediate keys. So they key value pairs generated by the mapper are known as intermediate keys. Then what the combiner will do? The combiner means combiner is a type of local reducer. Okay, so it takes the intermediate key from the mapper as input and it applies the user defined code to aggregate the values in a small scope of one mapper. Okay, so it is not a part of main map reduce algorithm. It is a optional one. Combiner is a optional one. Then shuffle and sort. The reducer task starts with the shuffle and sort step. It downloads the grouped key value pairs onto the local machine where the reducer is running. Okay. The individual key value pair are stored by key into a larger data list. The data list is grouped the equivalent keys together so that their value can be iterated easily in the reducer task. Then reducer. What this reducer will do? The reducer takes the grouped key value pair data as input and runs the reducer function on each one of them. So in reducer phase, the data can be aggregated, filtered, and combined in the number of ways, and it requires a wide range of processing. Once the execution is over in reducer phase, it gives 0 or more key value passed to the final step. Then we are going to see about the output phase. In the output phase, we have an output formatter that translates the final key value passed from the reducer function and writes them onto a file using a record writer. Now, here we can see one example. What are the things we are having in this map reduce? Input, split, map phase, shuffle and sort, and reduce phase. Okay. So see, here one example is given. 3 lines of input is given. Okay. First line is having A, B, and R. Second line is having C, C, and R. And third line is having A, C, B. Okay. So these 3 lines are splitted into 3 different tasks. Okay. It is splitted into or divided into 3 different tasks. First task is task is having ABR, second one is having CCR, and third one is having ACB. Now what we are going to do? We are going to count the letters present in this task. So what the map phase will do? Map phase will convert this into key value pairs. Okay. So A, the value for A is 1. B, the value for B is 1. The value for key R is 1. Like the same way, the map phase will convert it into key value pairs. Then what the shuffle and sort will do? Shuffle and sort finds the same keys and it will get the values for each keys. Okay. So it will split this into 4 tasks, that is A, B, C, and R based on the key. After that, what the reducer phase will do? The reducer phase can easily calculate the letter count by using the shuffle and sort output. Okay. So this is the work of map reduce. So one more example we can see here. Let us take a real world example to comprehend the power of map reduce. So here we are going to take the Twitter output, okay, or Twitter data as the input. The Twitter receives around 500 million tweets per day, which is nearly 30,000 tweets per second. How we are going to analyze these tweets? By using MapReduce. Okay. So first, we are having three different parts in this MapReduce. First one is input, second one is MapReduce, and third one is the data source adapter. How we are going to work? The input will be the Twitter data, that is number of tweets will be the input. Then what we have to do? We have to pass these input into MapReduce phase. What the MapReduce will do? It has to tokenize the given input, filter it, count it, and aggregate the counters, and then it will be given to the data source adapter. Then the Hadoop related database will store the information and it will give the output for the Twitter analysis. So as shown in the diagram, the MapReduce algorithm performs the actions one by one. The first action, what we saw, that is tokenizer. Okay. So what it will do? This tokenizer will tokenize the tweets into map of tokens and writes them as key value pairs. It will write them into key value pairs. After that, this key value pairs will be given as input to filter. It filters the unwanted word from the map of tokens. And what it will write? It will write the filtered maps as key value pairs. Next, we are having count, generates a token counter per word. Finally, we are having the aggregate counter. What this aggregate counter will do? It prepares an aggregate of similar counter values into small manageable units. Then now we are going to see about the MapReduce algorithm. The MapReduce algorithm contains two important tasks. We know that MapReduce means that is two different tasks, that is map task and reduce task. The map task is done by means of mapper class. What the mapper class will do? The mapper class will get the input and it will convert the input into key value pass, and what it will do? It will give the output to the reducer class or reducer task. What the reducer task will do? The reducer task is done by means of reducer class. So mapper class takes the input, tokenize it, maps, and sort it. The output of mapper class is used as input by reducer class, which is turned searches, matching pass, and reducers them. Okay. Here we are seeing two different classes, that is mapper class and reducer class. So we have to give the input to the mapper class and the reducer class will give the output for the analysis. Okay. So when we are giving the input to the mapper class will tokenize the input, then it will do mapping process and it will do shuffle and sort. After that, the final key value pair will be given as input to the reducer class. Okay. So the reducer class will do searching and reducing. Final output will be given to us. Okay. MapReduce implements various mathematical algorithms to divide a task into smaller parts. We know that map means we have to divide the work into smaller tasks and that will be executed in parallel on different nodes. Okay. So MapReduce means here we need various mathematical algorithms to divide the task into smaller parts, and these parts will be assigned into multiple systems, and multiple systems will execute these tasks parallelly. Okay. In technical term, MapReduce algorithm helps in sending the map and reduce tasks to appropriate servers in a cluster. These mathematical algorithms may include the following. Okay, so first one is sorting, searching, indexing, TF, IDF. TF means term frequency, IDF means inverse document frequency. Now we are going to see about this sorting, searching, indexing, TF and IDF one by one. First, we will see about sorting. Sorting is one of the basic MapReduce algorithm. Mainly, it is used to process and analyze the data. What the MapReduce will do? MapReduce implements sorting algorithm to automatically sort the output key value pairs from the mapper by their keys. Sorting methods are implemented in a mapper class itself. We know. Okay, so we are having two different classes, mapper class and reducer class. In this mapper class, we are having shuffle and sort. Okay. In the shuffle and sort phase, after tokenizing the values in the mapper class, the context class, that is the user-defined class, collects the matching valued, that is key values as a collection. So to collect similar key value pairs, that is the intermediate keys, the mapper class takes the help of raw comparator class to sort the key value pairs. Okay, the set of intermediate key value pairs after a given reducer is automatically sorted by Hadoop to form a different key values. Okay. Next, we are going to see about searching. Searching plays an important role in MapReduce algorithm. It helps in the combiner phase. Okay, so combiner phase is optional and it can be used in a reducer phase. For example, to find out the details of the employee who draws the highest salary in the given employee data set. We will see this example. We can assume that we are having 4 different files. Okay, the file name is A, B, C, and D. Okay, let us assume there are duplicate employee records in all 4 files because of importing the employee data from all database tables repeatedly. Each file contains name and salary. Okay, so how we are going to find out the duplicate entry and how we are going to find out high salaried employee. Okay, what the map phase will do, the map phase process each input file and provides the employee data in key value pairs. Okay, that is K, comma, V, employee name, comma, salary. Key value means K is a key, V is value. Here, what is key? Employee name is key and salary is the value that is given to us. Okay, so that is separated into key value pairs. So what the combiner will do, combiner phase will do. So here we are going to use searching technique. Okay, combiner phase will accept the input from the map phase as a key value pairs. What is the output of map phase? This is the output of map phase. This will be given to the combiner phase. Using the searching technique, what the combiner will do? It will check all the employee salary to find the highest salaried employee in each file. Okay, see this code. K. K is a key. Key is employee name here. V is a value. Value is salary here. So what we are going to do? We have to find the max. Max means that is the salary of the often first employee. That is treated as max salary. So first we are going to take the first employee salary and we are going to equal it with the maximum. Okay. If the value, the second employee dot salary is greater than max, what we have to do? We have to change the max as the second value. Okay. So else what we have to do? Continue checking the next employee. Like this, we are going to check each and every employee's salary with the first employee salary. Okay. So maximum employee salary, and we have to find out the final max salary. Okay. So this we are going to do by using the MapReduce work. So finally, the expected result is as follows. We are having 4 different files. In the first thing, Satish is the maximum salaried employee. Okay. So in the second one, Gopal. Third one, Kiran. And in the fourth file, Manisha. Finally, how we are going to find out? We have to combine these all and we have to calculate the max value of out of these 4 members. So Gopal is the final max values, max salaried employee. Okay. From each file, we will find the highest salaried employee. To avoid the redundancy, check all the key and value pairs, and we have to eliminate the duplicate entries if it is present in the file. Okay. So the same algorithm is used in between the 4 pairs. Finally, here we got 4 different key values. So for this also we have to use the same algorithm, and final output we can get as a Gopal is the high salaried employee. Next, we are seeing about the indexing. Normally, indexing is used to point to a particular data and its address. It performs batch indexing on the input file for a particular mapper. Okay. So indexing technique that is normally used in MapReduce, that is known as inverted index. Here, search engines like Google and Bing use inverted index techniques only. Okay. So for example, here, the following text is the input for inverted indexes. Here we are having 3 different indexes, that is T0, T1 and T2 are the file names, and their contents are in double quotes. Okay, T0 contains it is what it is. T1 contains what is it, and T2 contains it is a banana. After applying the indexing algorithm, we get the following output, that is, yeah, how many times A is present in all 3 texts or all 3 files as present, where A is present in the T2 file. Okay. So then banana is present in T2 and is present in all 3 files. It is present in all 3 files. And what is present in 0 and 1 file. Okay. Here we can found where these words are in the given files. Okay. So where we can see these words. Okay. So that is done by the MapReduce concept. Okay. Indexing. Then next one is the term frequency and inverted document frequency. That is a text processing algorithm. It is one of the common web analysis algorithms. Here, the term frequency means that refers to the number of times a term appears in the document. That is called as term frequency. And it measures how frequently a particular term occurs in the document. Okay, it is calculated by the number of times a word appear in the document, that is divided by the total number of words in the document. That is term frequency. Next one is the inverse document frequency, that is IDF. It measures the importance of the term. It is calculated by the number of documents in the text database divided by the number of documents where a specific term appears. While computing the term frequency, all the terms are considered equally important. That means TF, that is term frequency, counts the term frequency for normal words like is, what, etc. Thus, we need to know the frequency terms while scaling up the rare ones by computing the following IDF, inverse document frequency. Here we are going to find the importance of a tab. Okay. Example, consider a document that containing 1000 words. Okay, wherein the word hive appears 50 times. Okay, out of 100, 50 times the word hive appears. Okay, the term frequency of hive is then 50 by 1000, that is equal to 0.05. Now Assume we have 10 million documents and the word hive appears in 1,000 of these. Then the IDF, inverted document frequency, is calculated as log 10 million divided by 1,000, that is equal to 4. So the term frequency and noted document frequency weight is the product of these quantities, that is 0.05 into 4, that is equal to 0.20. Hope you all able to understand the concept of MapReduce. Thank you. Have a nice day.